What would you do if somebody lies to you? How could you find the truth? One way is to ask them questions and let them speak. But the problem is that the people who lie about something, they don't want to speak about that subject. That is why the court has a discovery tool called deposition. You bring the person to the court, put him in front of a camera, and ask him questions, and he has to answer. No matter how smart the person is, if he speaks, the truth will come out. The University of Alabama stole the technology I had discovered, and when I filed a federal lawsuit to get those stolen properties back, they denied the theft. They told the issue was about dismissal. The court realized something unlawful was done and granted me 2 depositions. The first deposition was for the chair of the physics department, Dr. Patrick LeClair. By the end of the first deposition, I knew who should be deposed next. She was the Associate Provost and Dean of Graduate School, Dr. Susan Carvalho. By the end of these 2 depositions, the university had admitted theft. They gave me a list of stolen properties, and they returned the items which were on their list. In addition to that, they offered me monetary compensation. Let's start with the first deposition and see what Dr. LeClair told about the allegation of dismissal.
Based on this email at this particular date, that is correct. You were not going to receive financial support for the following semester, and at that particular moment, yes, you had not been dismissed necessarily, but you were not in good academic standing and were not going to receive financial support.
So the email that you sent me on May 26th, in that day, I'm not dismissed. I'm not in good academic standing. Is it correct?
On that day, yes.
About 25 minutes later, I asked the same question again, just to make sure that the answer was consistent. And of course, Dr. LeClair's answer was the same. So this email is about graduate support status that is sent on 26. And at this point, I'm not dismissed. Is this correct?
On that date, correct.
So I just lost my graduate support. Yes. Do you know when I was dismissed?
I would have to look at the documents, but I believe it was in June sometime, but I would have to check the documents.
Up to here, Dr. LeClair testified twice that as of May 26, I was not dismissed. And after that, I did not receive any mail or email from the physics department regarding this matter. And of course, after May 26 and during June, we met and greeted each other several times in the labs and in the physics department. But the attorney for university had a different story, and he went to the extent to correct the witness in his testimony. Let's see what he said.
I think that this letter that Patrick sent on May 26th and the university's position is that that's when you were dismissed. I understand his testimony. There's the letter from the dean in June that says that you were dismissed from the physics program, and as a result were being suspended from the graduate school. But you have all the documents that we have.
But Dr. LeClair is testifying that on May 26th, I was not dismissed. I just lost my graduate support, yes. In this first attempt, Dr. LeClair stayed silent, and I proceeded with another question. But about 10 minutes later, the attorney for university tried again to correct the witness.
I mean, I think the university considered Dr. LeClair's email on May 26th as your dismissal because it accepted the recommendation of the committee.
But Dr. LeClair does not accept that it was my dismissal. Dr. LeClair himself is telling that you was not dismissed at that point. Is it correct?
Well, I think you'll see from Dean Carvalho, she viewed this as the dismissal when she sent her letter in June. She said, based on your dismissal from the program, Dr. LeBach, in May, you are suspended from the graduate school.
So there is inconsistency between different parts of the university, you are telling.
Well, I think that Dr. LeClair was mistaken when he testified that you were not dismissed here, but that is his testimony that's on the record.
As you saw, the attorney for university insisted on his own story, and he openly said that Dr. LeClair was mistaken. After that, Dr. LeClair decided to change his testimony, but he did not know if he can completely trust the university's attorney or not. So I asked the question one last time, and he disclosed a glimpse of the truth. So I'm not telling you which word you used. Your opinion now, your point of view now, your claim now is that on May 26th, I was dismissed.
Based on what the graduate school said roughly a month later, yes, they considered that to be the moment you were dismissed.
So a month later, graduate school decided that I was dismissed. Is it right?
That's correct, roughly a month.
So in that day, on 26th of May, I was not dismissed from your point of view.
Are you asking what I wrote or what I believed at the time?
What you believe.
What I believed at the time is that was final and you were out of the program. That was it.
Did you communicate to me that I was dismissed?
Communication with you at that point was rather difficult.
Why?
So I don't recall exactly what I may have said to you.
But you sent me email. How can the graduate school interpret an email more than a month later? How did they know such an email was there? The short answer is that they did not know. The Department of Physics did not contact the graduate school. It was the provost who contacted the graduate school. The reason for contact was an ownership dispute over the technology I had discovered. The university was trying to steal that technology. After these two depositions, and in the very last day of discovery, the university had to release an email from Provost which explains it all. Let me show you that email. The email reads, "What do we need to do to shut this guy down? He seems to be building some kind of case. Not sure what that case is. Bring Susan Carvalho and Bob Olin into this." The sender of the email was Provost Kevin Whitaker. The receiver was the Vice President for Research, Dr. Carl Pinkert. Susan Carvalho was the Associate Provost and the Dean of Graduate School. Bob Olin was the Dean of Art and Science. These people were the highest ranked people at the University of Alabama. The Provost and the Vice President for Research had authority over the whole university, which had about 40,000 students. The College of Art and Science, which was under Dr. Bob Olin, by itself had more than 10,000 students. As of today, 3 of these people had left the university. Either they stepped down or got retired. Only Susan Carvalho stays in the university. The solution executed by Susan Carvalho and Bob Olin was not dismissal. And there is no such a procedure that a provost and a couple of deans get together and decide to dismiss a student from one of the departments. So how did they execute the instructions of Provost? What did they do? Well, you know that the universities have their own police officers. The documents released by the University of Alabama shows that following the email of Provost and within few days, Susan Carvalho organized a number of police operations. Using these operations, the university stole my notebooks, the research data, and all of the samples regarding the new computer technology I had discovered. I reported the theft to the FBI, and FBI contacted them, but the university denied the theft. They denied having any of those items in the FBI list. Then I had to report the situation to higher authorities in the government, and each of them contacted the university. But the denial of theft continued for a couple of years, until the deposition of Patrick LeClair. Just after deposition, we had a settlement conference with Dr. LeClair and two lawyers from the university. In that meeting, Dr. LeClair admitted the theft. He told he knew where the university was keeping those stolen properties, and he told he can encourage them to return if they accept. Immediately, the attorneys of the university stopped him, and they rushed out of the conference room. But it was too late. I already recorded their voices. A few weeks later, the University of Alabama returned most of the stolen properties, and then they offered me a settlement including a monetary compensation. Let me show you a couple of pages of documents from the federal lawsuit regarding this theft. This is the second page of my report to the FBI, and later on I filed it in the court as evidence. In this specific page, I listed the stolen notebooks and 2 flash drives. It had 8 notebooks in 3 different sizes. They included my scientific notes and calculations. The university was denying the theft, and when FBI contacted them, they did not return these items. The second document belongs for a couple of years later. It was after the depositions in the federal courthouse that the university returned a long list of properties, which included all of these 8 notebooks. And as you see, the notebooks are identical to what I had reported, and the report was submitted to the court almost 1 year before the deposition of Dr. LeClair, and the university was still keeping them. There is some more information in the description box of this video, and I will provide more details in the next videos. Thank you for your attention.